You're watching Valley Varieties. Today, my guest is Arsen Marsoobian. He goes by Papa Soup, and it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, April. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. I was excited to meet you, and so you have a couple of books here, and so we're also going to get to know a little bit about you. And so, what do you want to talk about first?
Uh, that's up to you.
Okay,
you, you
I get to lead the way. Awesome.
play stump Papa Soup.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and start with I went ahead and when he went to get his cell phone out of his car and I opened up one of his books and the first thing I read was about him going to a summer camp, and it was really exciting because it just happened to be when he asked Jesus into his heart, and I don't know how I lucked out and opened right to that page, but why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that?
Well, that's quite a story. I was 15 years old in high school, and the pastor's son, they lived right down the street from me. So my parents were Armenian Orthodox, so we didn't really go to the traditional churches. So he asked me to come to the youth group,
Okay.
and I thought, well, what's that about? And he said, well, we get down there at about 4 o'clock, play basketball for about an hour. Then the ladies feed us, and then we get to hang out with the girls afterwards. I said, well, that sounds like my kind of church.
Yeah.
So we went, and I was excuse me, I was part of that for a number of years. And then he said, well, let's go to summer camp. So I went, talked to my mom. And she said, well, did they talk about God? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, you can go. So we were off to camp. And we're there, and had kids from all over the valley were there. Boy, it was a big camp, Redwood City Camp up in Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Beautiful place up there for those kids. And so we were there and seeing different people. And then I think my friend hurt his foot or did something, so we had to go to an infirmary.
Okay.
So I walk in the infirmary, and I look over, and there's a young little girl sitting there, a cute little thing, and she's got some bandages, something wrong with her. So I go over and see if I can help. And I wanted to be a big help. And so I got over there, and we started a conversation. She was from Bakersfield. She really didn't want too much to do with me. She was a senior, so she was a little bit older.
A couple years older.
A couple of years older, and from Bakersfield, and she really didn't want anything to do with the skinny little kid. I was about 115 pounds. So I really wasn't much to look at or things, so I can understand why I hear things, but I was pretty persistent.
Okay.
So if she signed up for volleyball, I played volleyball. Whatever she signed up to do, I was there.
You were there. You just went ahead and followed her path.
And I think that's a true definition of puppy love. Boy, wherever she went, that puppy, I just followed right behind.
That's right. That's right.
Well, then one day she told me, she said she was going to go on a candlelight walk up into the mountains. Well, okay, I've done everything else. I might as well do this too. So we went up the mountains. It was beautiful. Night, you could almost see the ocean from where we were. And of course, there was a guy that was one of the leaders, and he was talking about this ancient guy that died on a cross. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, why is he talking about such old people?
Such old people.
So we were there, and I'd look over at my friend every once in a while, and she put her head down. I should be praying.
Yeah.
And says, well, okay, I put my head down. I'll pray too. So whatever she was doing, I was mirroring.
Yes.
And it was working.
It was working.
It was working.
It was working.
It was working. And then he came to the point where he asked if anybody wanted to put their faith in this old guy that died on a cross.
Okay. Okay.
And I listened to that, and I thought, well, Okay, and she was praying. So I put my head down and asked Jesus to come into my life, forgive me of my sins. And no thunderbolts, no real earth-shaking, mountain-shaking thing. But when we walked off the mountain, we actually walked off holding hands.
Oh.
So that was a big success.
Yes.
But she was very proud. We became really good friends, dated a little bit afterwards when we went back to school, and stayed in touch. And then she got married, raised her family. I got married. We all went in different ways. She went to Santa Barbara for school, and cancer got her.
Mm-hmm.
She was in her 50s. And
so young.
She was very, very young, very young. But there was always a little place in my heart.
Of course.
For her.
Yes.
So that's the story how I came to Christ. And of course, there's a lot of in and outs, changes. When you come to Christ at an early age like that, it's very easy to drift away.
Oh, yes.
And then get out of sync with that. As you get older, you can get different cultural activities. And I was no different. I did that. There was a lot of times in my life that it was not Christ-centered.
Yes, I think a lot of times in your life you kind of can drift away at times, but you always get drawn back. You know, once you've asked Jesus into your heart, I think you always know where to go back.
Yeah.
And sometimes things are going good and we kind of like drift away, and then sometimes things are going bad and we drift away. But we always know where to go back.
Well, what I've found over my 80-some years is that when I've drifted away and tried to live my life my way,
mm-hmm.
and we've had this argument, or not an argument, discussion with people say you can lose your salvation.
Uh-huh.
And I was always worried about that. And then came to the realization it wasn't you don't lose your salvation. What you do is you lose a connection.
Right.
To have that personal relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a dark place to be.
It is.
And so I'm very fortunate that I've made that, and God has forgiven me each time and taken me back. And so here we are.
Here we are.
And I've written a book called A Heartbeat Away. Are you ready?
Yeah, he's got a couple of books. We've got pictures too.
And The Heartbeat Away, first part is, are you ready spiritually?
Okay.
Because we never know when we're going to shake hands with death.
We sure don't.
And so you got to be ready, and you got to be ready spiritually. You have to know where you're going, and that's a great feeling. You really can learn how to live your life when you know where you're going after your life.
I agree. I agree with you completely. You can live a fuller life when you are not scared
of where you're going.
Yeah.
And I just read a really great book, Revealing the Mysteries of Heaven.
Okay.
By Pastor David Jeremiah. And it's a great read because it gives you, it's like a travel brochure.
Oh.
So when you get through reading that, you figure, I kind of know what the city's going to look like, what the people are going to be like, what to expect when you get there. And so I would really recommend that book.
Okay.
To anybody that's really serious and want to know where they're going after they put their faith in Christ.
Yes. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Okay, and so you also have another book right here, Don't Die.
Don't die. That's the secret to long life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can show that you're proving that right now.
Yeah.
And so you told me that how many years ago you had?
20 years ago, December of '99, had a surgery, 5 bypass surgery in October. Didn't work out, and I had to do it again with a whole different set of surgeons, different hospital, thank goodness. Done at UCLA Medical Center, another 4 bypasses, and so here I am today. I had another one in 2004, the small one, 1 bypass at that time, and so here I am.
Here
It's
you
still,
are.
still going.
So you had 3 bypasses,
3 bypass surgeries,
and 2 of them were 6 months apart.
2 months apart.
2 months apart. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and so he's very blessed to be here.
Oh, yes, I am, April. Thank you.
And so you're working on a new book.
Yep, I got a book. Actually, it was a revision of a book I did in 2015.
Okay.
It's called Beating Taxes and Cheating Death,
Okay.
and we've added You Only Live Once
Yes.
to the title.
Very nice. Okay. And so we have a little bit.
I hope you have the.
Yeah.
That's a picture of Papa Sue, but we don't have
Papa
that. That's not the
Sue.
cover. That's not the cover.
Okay. But we have that picture. And then I wanted to say, was this the one that you said when you wrote it, you had no idea that it was going to affect what's going on today?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, the subject of death was not something that people really wanted to talk about. And it was like, okay, yeah, I know it's going to happen. It was not a topic of discussion around the kitchen table.
Oh, yeah.
And
Dinner. Pass me the carrots. Yeah, you're going to die tomorrow. No.
yeah, right. It just wasn't part of the things.
Right. Yeah.
And so part of the decision to write the book was so that people would open up that dialogue.
Okay.
Right. Then comes along COVID.
Right.
Now, the number one thing on the news,
It's COVID.
COVID, and we now keep score of the number of people that die.
Yes, we
So
sure
we
are.
can see every day so many people have died.
Yes.
And so it's like, people realize that it can happen.
Yes.
And it can happen in a minute. You could be well. You can catch this stupid thing.
Yes.
And people have recovered,
Mm-hmm.
praise to God. And a lot of people have not.
Yes.
But it really is a big game changer because now the whole discussion about death has become like a sports box score.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that much of a discussion is easy now to have that discussion.
It sure is. Yeah, and I mean, people are protecting themselves as much as they can.
Yeah.
The sanitizer company is probably thriving.
Yeah, I wish I bought some stock in sanitizers.
Plexiglass sign companies and sanitizer. Oh, and the mask company.
Yeah. Mask companies.
Where were we? Yeah, and so that's amazing, and so it just happens to tie into your book, and you had no idea it was going to do that.
No. And so they can get the book on Amazon and get this Heartbeat Away at Barnes & Noble.
Okay.
Or wherever really good books are sold. So it's in the different bookstores.
Very nice.
It's on every e-platform,
Okay.
Kindle or any of the other platforms.
Oh, wow.
So it was published by a company called Morgan James Publishing
Okay.
out of New York. And they publish so many books a year, and they put it in their faith division.
Okay.
So when this came out in 2018, it was one of only 25 books that they published that year.
Wow.
So I was very proud of that.
Oh, I would be too.
So yeah,
You should be proud of that.
yeah. The first one, the Don't Die, I self-published.
Okay.
So you can see the difference in the covers.
Well, they're both very nice. This one's all soft. It's like
really
very soft. I like it.
Yeah, it's
And
the special design by the Morgan James people.
Yes. Okay. And so with this one, you sell it yourself?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Oh, it's on
It's
Amazon.
on
Okay.
Yeah, they can get all of the books on Amazon.
Very good. Okay. And then so you were saying you have a YouTube channel.
I have a YouTube channel with all of this stuff. I was getting bored going crazy at home.
Okay.
And somebody suggested that I maybe do a little YouTube and talk about the books.
Okay.
What's in there. So I started. I've done now up to about 30 shows.
Okay.
Doing two a week, Tuesday and Thursdays at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And they're 15, 20 minutes long. I've had some guests.
Okay.
I've ventured into your business a little bit.
Very nice.
and,
Okay.
and had a guest or two. So it's been fun. It's been fun. We got a few followers. It's nothing viral or exciting, but it's a fun to do. It's
Of
got me
course.
busy.
Yes. Okay. And then you also mentioned that you have 3 children, 6 grandchildren, and 1 great grandchild.
Yes, and I'm proud of all of them.
Yes,
And,
definitely.
especially the great grandson. But with the COVID and stuff, I've yet to really be close to him.
Yes.
It's hard, and but I respect the parents and grandparents, so we do the distancing with them, and,
Yes.
and that's what we should do.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to touch my niece yet.
Oh.
Yeah, so I
You
understand.
understand what that's like.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
And the first grandchild just got married in June,
Oh.
and so she started her life, and she lives over on the coast. And so they're really proud of all of them. One's going to Fresno State, one's at Military Academy, the Citadel in South Carolina, and one just graduated high school. The other one's in the junior college. So I'm really proud of all of the kids.
I bet you are.
Yeah.
And then I also think I read in there, did you get to go to Fresno State?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Sure. I'd love to talk about my alumni.
Okay.
Well, in this book, Don't Die, I talk about some of the lessons I learned when I was in high school.
Okay.
I was on a track team. I was an athlete, skinny little guy, 115 pounds at most, and I was going to Fresno High School, and so I got on the track team, and everybody else that ran in front of me quit because it was too hard.
Yeah.
So I became #1 runner,
Okay.
and by the time I left Fresno High School, I had every distance record at Fresno High School, from the 660 all the way to the mile.
Oh, wow.
And because of that, I got a scholarship, work aid scholarship to Fresno State.
Oh, that's
And
great.
so that changed my life. My dad had passed away when I was 15,
Oh, wow.
and very limited means with my mom. And so the thought of even going to college was
Kinda out of the question.
Was out of the question until this came along, and again I was blessed with some athletic ability at younger years.
Very good.
And so I went to Fresno State, competed there on the track team for 4 years.
Okay.
Been a member of the Bulldog Foundation for 25 years.
Okay.
And, on their board of directors, I was executive director for a year. So I'm really tied to Fresno State. My son played baseball there,
Okay.
and my granddaughter is now 3rd generation Bulldog.
That's so exciting.
It-
Oh my
it is
gosh.
fun. So no, we're very tied.
Go Bulldogs.
To the Bulldogs. Bulldog
Yeah.
born, Bulldog bred. Going to
Yeah.
be a Bulldog till the day I'm dead.
That's exciting. So most of your family lives here in Fresno then?
Yes, most of them have.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so, was there anything else you wanted to share today?
No, I think you did an excellent job of asking those questions. Thank you very much. I
Aw,
think
thank
we drew out a
you.
lot of information.
Very good.
So I hope the
I would
people
love to
enjoyed
have
it.
you come back.
Well, I'd love to do that.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks,
okay,
April.
we'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll be right back.